you need to start selling right away. So there are many examples I can give you. Greg Gianforte was starting a company called Right Now Technologies in 1999. What did he do? He locked himself in one of his bedroom and made 400 phone calls telling people that this is what I'm trying to do. It will be available in 6 months. Would you be interested? 400 phone calls. 3 months later, he had 40 people signed up. And many people told him about, nahi, aisa karna, to wo na karna, make sure it has those features. Don't do it like that company because we don't like that. Then he locked himself again for 3 months and coded the product. And the first product available, and just like he told people, 6 mahine mein available hogi, he had the product in 6 months. The first technical person he hired was employee number 8. The next 7 people he hired were salespeople. That's the way to do a business. Right Now Technologies later on became a public company. It's still a public company. He's still the CEO, based in Montana. This is ultra bootstrapping. That's the way an entrepreneur thinks about a business. He thinks about what do people really want. By deep understanding that requirement and making that connection, only then you have the clarity what to build. And most people don't do it like that. They come up with some idea because they're fascinated by it. They design some product they think it should be cool. And then they say, people are not buying it as much as I thought. I don't know, wonder why. What is my business model? How will I make money? So this is doing it backwards. Too many of us have done that way. How do I know? Because I did it that way. Not just once, maybe 3 times. So it's not that I'm so much smarter about this because I've made this mistake and paid it very dearly with 3-4 years of my life and many $1 million. So this is the first most important thing is that when you start, you've got to start with that sales customer first. So most engineers, they hate selling. And why don't they like sales? Because they don't know what to say, they don't know where to find these people. अगर मिल में जाएंगे तो मैं उनको क्या कहूँगा? क्या लो आप, कैसे लो? I've been pushing things on people. That's a typical, discomfort people have. So, the fact is that it's not that uncomfortable. You're really trying to solve people's problems if you think about it. Most important thing is you're about to put 2, 3, 4 years of your own life pursuing something. So forget about investors and trying to convince anybody. You should convince yourself that are you really ready to go down this desert with the clarity that you're solving a real problem, a problem people really have, and a problem they're willing to pay for. So this is what we have to do. And you cannot give it to a junior marketing manager. You cannot give it to a LUMS graduate. We have to know that yourself because you will not be able to capture that sentiment through some third party. It is too important. Your own life depends on taking the journey. You cannot trust it on somebody telling you, Haji, left पे जाएंगे फिर आगे जाएंगे फिर 2000 आदमी के पास आ जाएगा आपका. ऐसे नहीं होता. So I always say that in my class, the people who get funded, they show a profound understanding of dynamics of their market. Not a profound understanding of their technology, which most engineers do have. That's not important. It's the profound understanding of the dynamics of the market. Why people are buying, why do they want to buy, what alternatives do they have not buying from you, at what price point would they buy, what kind of the title of the person who would buy, what else he could have bought, why hasn't he bought until now? That's the question you need to know. So till you have that clarity in that conversation, you can't do that. This Peter Cooper's team is something which we have in our class, come speak. This is the guy who went to Harvard, got an MBA from Harvard and went to some school. And he wanted to start some business, which is more interesting and fun. He decided living in California, he wanted an East Coast style pizza. Everybody loves good pizza. So guess what did he do? He did not hire a bunch of MBAs to write a business plan, open a pizza shop. For 2 years, he worked at different pizza places. He worked as delivery boy, as bus boy, as cleaner, as doing all kinds of things. उसकी माँ बैठ के इंतजार करती थी रात को 3-2 बजे आता था सुबह एक पिज्जा डिलीवर करता था उसके बाद पिज्जा वो बेक करता था अवन में फिर रात को आता था माँ कहती कि मत मर गई, मैंने इस बंदे को तो हार्वर्ड में भेजा है, ये आ गया घर में, अब पिज्जा करके ये पिज्जा बनाएगा. Now he has opened this store, he just opened his 12th store, the guy has made multi-million dollars, although he still goes to the pizza shop and he still does those functions to show other people how to do it. But real entrepreneurs don't delegate, they do those things themselves, so only then you have the profound understanding of what your customer really looking for and why. So ask yourself, if you're starting a company, if you're not doing that, perhaps you don't have the pulse on the customer the way you should. So it's too important to delegate. So where do you find these people?
Permission to be interrupted? Permission to put a case forward?
Thanks.
Just wondering, I mean, in a pessimistic kind of environment around when most people will kill your new idea when you discuss them, or when, you know, generally the trend is anything new that is coming is probably a no-no and this is not the right time that you will be spending on that. So when you go out as an entrepreneur with all your spirit and energy and motivation and you discuss, for me for example, trying to do an expo and coming up with an idea that which has never been done before, but when I go and discuss it with people, as you rightly said, and try to sell the concept before I start putting my bucks in that or my time in that. So the negativity which sometimes is generated from the other side, doesn't that tend to sometimes curb your, I don't know, the entrepreneurial spirit or your desire to do that?
Well, no, and because of the following three reasons. First of all, my advice is you don't go and tell them, आप कितनी तस्वीरें लगी, आप वैसे के वैसे लग रहे थे, पहले लग रहे थे वैसे लगेंगे, हमें छुट्टी दें हम जरा, सब तो आपने सब ऑडियंस की तस्वीरें भी ले ली, हमारी भी ले ली, आपको बात कर रहे हैं. अच्छा, answer to your question, three reasons. First of all, I don't advise you to go tell them your idea. Maybe I should be more explicit, so it's a good question. What I'm asking, the question I'm asking is कि हम ये करना चाह रहे हैं, आपके बारे में क्या ख्याल, आपको पसंद करते हैं? That would not be how I would start. You're trying to understand is what is the pain, what is the unmet need? How have they tried to solve the unmet need? अभी तक क्यों solve नहीं हुई? आपने किस किस alternatives को देखा है और क्यों कि उसको इस्तेमाल नहीं किया? महंगा था, सही नहीं था, इंटीग्रेट नहीं होता था, क्या वजह थी? आप में से किस तरह से नई ऑल्टरनेटिव आप देखने को इवन तैयार भी हैं? What should alternative should look like if you're willing to consider it? Who will make the decision? How the decision will be made? How important will price be? What will be the top three reasons you will buy it? What are the reasons somebody can kill the idea? I have not mentioned what I do even yet. But I'm asked 17 questions which help me understand what are they thinking. I may leave the meeting never mentioning what I'm thinking. So you don't have to. What I'm asking you to do is to get in the head of people. How will they decide? What are they interested in? What will they think? And sometimes it's appropriate. You can say, what if there's something like this existed? Would that be interesting or that would not work too well? What do you think? And, you know, just very vaguely. Let's see if they even get all excited about it. But if the dynamics are not right, you may never mention your product. And that's okay. So that's one reason. Second reason is, if your spirits will be so hurt, if people will reject the idea, it's probably good to know now because you're most likely not ready to be an entrepreneur. I'd much rather roll right now that it's going to be hard. I give up, get a real job at a real company, which is a good thing because not everybody is an entrepreneur. Not everybody needs to be an entrepreneur. But there's some people who cannot get another job. They don't know how else to live. They're so genuine unko aaya hota apne idea pe they must do it. You need some genuine to get through this thing. This is like, to me, it's like going through Gobi Desert, but you know that you're going to some